come to order. We have the color guard. We have a color guard here today, the Division of Colorado Parks and Wildlife, Tim Woodward, Jordan Likes, Jason Hagan, Brandon Mueller, and Travis Black.
Guard, halt. Ready, face. Ready, step. Ready, prep. Ready, lift. Ready, post. Ready, step. Ready, dress. Ready, face. Present, arms. Order, arms. Ready, face. Forward, march. Left, 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 left,
Please join Representative Bradfield in the Pledge of Allegiance.
All together, I pledge allegiance to the flag
Mr. Shebel, please call the roll.
Representatives Amabile, Bacon, Baisley. Representative Baisley is here. Benavidez, Burnett, Bird, Bockenfeld, Basenecker, Bradfield, Caraveo, Carver, Catlin, Cutter, Doherty is present. Duran, Esgar, Exum, Froelich, is present. Geithner. Gonzalez Gutierrez. Gonzalez Gutierrez is excused. Gray. Hanks. Representative Hanks is excused. Herod's excused. Toltorf. Putin. Representative Hooton is excused. Judah. Kennedy. Kip. Larson. Lindsay. Lontine. Luck.
Here.
Lynch. McCluskey. McCormick. McKean.
35.
McLaughlin. Michelson Janae. Mullica. Neville. Ortiz. Rep Ortiz.
Here.
Pelton. Pico. Ransom. Rich. Ricks.
Here.
Roberts. Sandridge. Sirota. Snyder. Soper. Sullivan. Tipper. Titone. Valdez A. Valdez D. Van Beber. Van Winkle. Weissman. Will.
Good morning.
Williams.
Here.
Woodrow. Woog. Young. And Mr. Speaker.
With 61 present and 4 excused, we have a quorum. Representative Bradfield.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Journal of Wednesday, April 6, 2022 be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Representative Bradfield. Members, you have heard the motion that the journal be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk. All those in favor say aye. That's great. All those opposed, no. I'm looking to the gallery, and they've indicated that the ayes have it and the motion's approved. Announcements and introductions. Representative Byrd.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If it's Thursday, it's finance. Upon adjournment today, we will be meeting in Committee Room 0112. We have only one bill on our agenda, and that is House Bill 1163.
Representative Judah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I just want us to recognize I have some guests in the chamber today. Up here behind us is my alma mater, Overland High School from HD 41. They are visiting. Please stand so we can recognize you guys. Stand, stand, stand. I definitely want to thank the students for organizing and welcome Miss Osuna's class. So thank you so much for coming, and I'm coming up there in a second.
Representative Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of House State Civic, Military, and Veterans Affairs will be meeting upon adjournment in LSBA to hear House Bill 1273 and Senate Bill 104.
Representative McLaughlin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Okay, remember all the times I've come down and said just read the calendar for education? I'm not going to say that today because it's changed, so sorry. Life changes. We are not doing 008, but we are doing 1349, 1220 for action only, and 1260. We'll see you there. Thanks.
Representative Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Business Affairs and Labor Committee, we have a meeting this afternoon, and we have a very busy and long agenda. We will meet at 1:30, starting with House Bill 1312, then 1324, then 1328, and finishing with 1314. See you then.
Representative A. Valdez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of Energy and Environment, today we will be meeting at 1:30 in the Old State Library. Again, we're going to meet in the Old State Library, not across the street. We'll be hearing Senate Bill 9, House Bills 1244, and House Bill 1355. Bring a dinner.
Representative McCluskey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, Appropriations Committee meets bright and early tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. We will be hearing House Bills 1067, 1120, 1210, 1235, 1243, 1267, 1278, 1282, 1302, 1304, 1305, and Senate Bill 100. See you bright and early.
Are there any further announcements or introductions? Representative Holtorf.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, esteemed colleagues. Baseball, apple pie, and the 4th of July. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, I believe, is opening day at Rockies Stadium. Although I didn't get with the Speaker earlier, I'd like to request that all legislative activities in this House cease so we can all attend the game. And I'd like to coordinate with the Majority Leader as well, because we are big fans of the Colorado Rockies, and I think 1:30 at Rockies Field, Coors Field, is when the big day starts for those of us that love baseball, apple pie, and the 4th of July.
Majority Leader Eskar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Representative Holtorf, the good news is it starts at 1:30, so we've got plenty of time to get some work done in the morning.
Representative Will. Members, please direct your attention to the well.
Let me lower this a little bit.
Are you ready or no? You're doing something.
You do it. Oh, are you? We're doing it?
Oh, no.
We're doing it.
Well, I'm ready. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
Honor to serve with you too, Representative Will.
We have a tribute today. We'd like to have it read at length.
Mr. Shelby.
State of Colorado. The House of Representatives convened in the 73rd General Assembly hereby celebrates Colorado Parks and Wildlife Day. From its origins 125 years ago, Colorado Parks and Wildlife has sought to protect and conserve its fish, game and habitat resources, and recreational opportunities for the enjoyment and benefit of all Coloradans. The organization's mission stands to perpetuate the wildlife resources of the state, provide a quality state park system, as well as enjoyable and sustainable outdoor recreation opportunities that educate and inspire current and future generations to serve as active stewards of Colorado's natural resources. With park rangers entrusted to protect and preserve parklands, the state of Colorado has benefited tremendously from the efforts and service of Colorado Parks and Wildlife. The state of Colorado looks forward to the next 125 years of dedicated efforts from staff, volunteers, sportspersons, and visitors to help care for Colorado and provide opportunities to live life outside. With great appreciation, the Colorado House of Representatives hereby acknowledges April 7, 2022 as Colorado Parks and Wildlife Day. On request of Representatives Danae Esgar, Dylan Roberts, and Perry Will, given the 7th day of April 2022, State Capitol, Denver, signed Alec Garnett, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Representative Will.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And we have some honored guests over here on the wall I'd like to introduce. I won't introduce them all, but Director Dan Prenzel is there along with his leadership team, so we want to welcome them to the chamber. Thank you, and thank you. Thank you all over there for what you do for the state of Colorado and what you do for the people of the state of Colorado. It's much appreciated. You know, CPW, DOW, it was actually DOW and then merged into CPW, but it was established in 1897. Colorado Parks and Wildlife conserved Colorado's lands, water, and wildlife for 125 years. This year's anniversary gives an opportunity to reflect on the past, the present, and the future of Colorado's outdoor heritage, and shine a spotlight on how our state government and local communities work together to sustain our Colorado way of life and keep our landscapes healthy and desirable destinations to experience. And CPW has done a wonderful job of that for the last 125 years. Let us not forget who pays for that conservation. It's through sportsmen and outdoor users that they pay for this conservation effort and outdoor recreation. So I have to say, I couldn't be more proud to have been part of this for over 40 years. It was my career, and I might even get choked up talking about it. Yes, I'm wearing my 125th badge today, so I told the sergeants that I was going to be a little badge heavy and enforcing stuff today, so, and they give me the go-ahead, so I appreciate. They said they had my back, so anyway, be on your best behavior. And so 125 years, think of that. That's a long time, and they've done a good job. And you know, when you work for DOW, CPW, it's not a job, it's a passion. And I can attest to that. It's not a job, it's a pure passion in what you're doing and protecting our resources in the state. And every employee in that agency, we're one big family. That's what we are. We're one big family. And I can tell you, those against the wall can tell you that. Anyone that's lived it, experienced it, and been a part of this organization can tell you we are one big family. You know, it's what a heritage of protecting our natural resources. It's wonderful. And I want to give a shout out to all the great men and women that built this legacy, those that came before us, and it continues today. I know when I was a young game warden just starting out, I remember hitting my district, which was the Rifle South District. I want to tell you something. There's no other job that I can think of that when you hit a district or an assignment like that, you have instant status within that community because of who you are and because of those that came before you. And I don't know if there's any other jobs that you experience that, but because of the legacy that those previous to us showing up had done such a good job, that's how it is. And I'd just like to say that from me and for all Coloradans, happy 125th CPW, and thank you.
Majority Leader Escar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think in the 8 years here, I've learned so much about the state of Colorado. Things I probably didn't think much about before coming here and learning about. CPW is one of those. I wasn't raised to really do a whole lot of outdoor activities. It was actually my wife's family who really got me into being in the outdoors, into hiking and boating and fishing, and coming here and realizing what a gem we have in Colorado and how hard we work to preserve our lands here and how hard we work to make sure that the outdoors are available for everyone. I think that was completely apparent to all of us who live near a state park. I'm lucky, I'm 5 minutes away from Lake Pueblo. We go there almost every weekend to just drive around and hike around, so I'm very honored for that and privileged for that. But many of us didn't realize in the height of the pandemic, when folks felt like they had nowhere they could really go, no places to really socialize except to be outdoors, you may or may not know our park system was overwhelmed. Lots of people took to our state parks to be outside and to enjoy the sunshine and to try to have some normal in their life and to be able to see people in a way that they felt safer to do. And I don't know if we've ever really said thank you to CPW for the enormous effort you all put in to accommodate that massive capacity that just hit our parks the way they did during the pandemic. And I think on behalf of Colorado, knowing that you all put the work in and got it done and gave folks that moment of feeling better about life for the day, that's what it's about, and truly appreciate it. I've been honored to be a part of the building of Fisher's Peak, a state park in Trinidad that helps not only just preserve the land there, but also as an economic driver for that part of southern Colorado, so vitally important. And of course, I have already mentioned I'm 5 minutes away from the best state park in the state, Lake Pueblo. If you haven't been there, come see it. It's amazing. It's great. Stop in Pueblo, get some food. I'll help you out there.
Get out a little more.
Anyway, on behalf of us all, thank you for being here today. Thank you for everything you do and for the work that you've done for 125 years and the work you'll continue to do.
Representative Wall.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. One thing I failed to do, and I think I can tell you I couldn't have been more proud to have the CPW Honor Guard post the colors today. And those people are all friends of mine, colleagues, past colleagues of mine, and I think we should give them a big hand. That was wonderful.
Are there any other announcements or introductions? Seeing none, the next order of business is general orders, second reading of bills. Maybe we're doing specials. Maybe I should just hold. Well, I have a quick announcement. Representative Basenecker will replace Representative Huton on Energy and Environment Committee for today only. Majority Leader Escar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the following bills be made special orders today, April 7th. Senate Bill 34, House Bill 1313, House Bill 1291, House Bill 1344, and House Bill 1311.
Seeing no objection, the bills laid out by the Majority Leader will be made special orders today, Thursday, April 7th at 9:27 a.m. Representative Will.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's still an honor to serve with you. I have to say that Representative Pelton just came over to my desk and he said, 125 years, he said, since you were there when CPW was founded, what all's changed? That's hurtful.
You know, if that joke was in appropriations, you'd win the prize, Representative Pelton. Representative Michelson Janae. Seeing no objection, Representative Michelson Janae will take the chair.
The committee will come to order. With your unanimous consent, the bills will be read by title unless there is a request for reading a bill at length. Committee reports are printed and in your bill folders. Floor amendments will be shown on the screen and on your iPads. Bills will be laid over upon motion of the Majority Leader, and the coat rule is relaxed. Now, Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over Senate Bill 34 to the end of the special readings calendar.
Senate Bill 34 will be laid over to the end of the special readings calendar. Mr. Schiebel, please read the title of House Bill 1313.
House Bill 1313 by Representatives McCormick and Caraveo concerning housing requirements for agricultural workers during a public health emergency.
Okay. Representative Caraveo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's an honor to serve with you.
And it is an honor to serve with you.
Thank you. I move House Bill 1313 and the committee report.
Okay, to the Agriculture, Livestock, and Water Report. Representative McCormick.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. In Agriculture, Livestock, and Water, we amended the bill to clarify that the Department of Labor and Employment can consult with the Department of Public Health and Environment on public health emergencies. And also, the amendment better defines what a public health emergency is in this case.
Okay. Is there any more discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee report is adopted. To the bill, Representative McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, House Bill 1313 is a clarification and modification for the agricultural worker housing, specifically during public health emergencies. Last year, we passed several basic protections for our agricultural workforce in Colorado, and one of these protections included housing requirements specifically during a public health emergency, and it was in response to the COVID-19 pandemic and dangers of its spread. We were approached by agricultural producers earlier this year that this particular provision of the bill was difficult to comply with due to supply chain issues associated with the pandemic, as well as access to contractors and builders, and the fact that we are still dealing with the same pandemic. The bill today makes it possible for employers to provide alternative protections as outlined by CDPHE to comply with these requirements during a public health emergency. And additionally, the definition of public health emergency was not specific enough and would inaccurately include public health emergencies that would not warrant these requirements, namely requiring each worker to have a certain number of square feet for social distancing. And this bill clarifies that this issue for public health emergencies is only for those that are spread from human to human in close contacts. So other communicable diseases that are vector-borne, for instance, spread by insects or by water or just coming through the environmental air would not be part of these public health emergencies. This bill makes it possible for agricultural producers and employers to comply with regulations meant to keep their employees safe and healthy. And the goal was to protect people from COVID-19, and now we know there are many other very effective tools for this task, vaccines and masks and testings. And it is just really logical to include the possibility of using these alternatives laid out by public health officials, and I urge a yes vote on House Bill 1313.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1313? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1313. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1313 is adopted. Mr. Sheba, please read the title of House Bill 1291.
House Bill 1291 by Representative Weissman, also Senator Janal, concerning the Sunrise review of a proposed regulation of an unregulated professional or occupational group.
Representative Weissman.
Thank you and good morning, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1291. There is no committee report.
To the bill.
All right, members, this is a bill to update our Sunrise process. It does four things. We update the timeline for Sunrise reviews so that they better conform to the legislative session. We adjust what elements are necessary in an application submitted to Copper, the office in Dura. We adjust the bases by which the office may decline to do a review if it is not a worthwhile expenditure of government time and resources. Not must decline, but may decline. That's important. And finally, we replace somewhat more subjective criterion that is used in the conduct of the actual review with one that is more objective. Ultimately, Copper is a small office that has a lot of work to do between this and Sunsets that we're more familiar with. And to me, this is, among other things, a government efficiency bill, so I ask for your support.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1291? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1291. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1291 is adopted. Mr. Sheba, please read the title of House Bill 1344.
House Bill 1344 by Representatives Neville and Ortiz, also Senators Cook and Janal, concerning the lawful use of a prescription drug that contains 3,4-methylene deoxymethamphetamine, or MDMA, that is approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration.
Representative Ortiz.
Madam Chair, I move House Bill 221344 and the committee report.
Okay, to the committee report.
Madam Chair and
Oh,
members,
sorry.
in committee,
Okay, go ahead, Representative Ortiz.
in committee, we passed two amendments. One that added to the ledge deck around the impact, the human impact and the economic impact that PTSD has, and then also the impact that MDMA, once FDA approved, used as a catalyst under the supervision of a mental health care professional, will have on our communities. And the second amendment was making sure that we codified more strictly, following the guidelines of the FDA on who is allowed to administer and possess this prescription MDMA for mental health use. Urgent aye.
Any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the Public and Behavioral Health and Human Services Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Committee report is adopted. To the bill, Representative Neville.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this is a complex, or it actually should be a simple bill, but it's on a complex issue. So half of the states currently, if the FDA does approve something, they automatically allow that. Half the states don't. We're in the half of the states that don't. However, this treatment is being proven to be extremely, extremely effective in treatment of PTSD. Over doubling the effectiveness of it, what we're seeing is over 67% of the people that go through this treatment end up being healed, absolutely completely cured of PTSD. And so we heard in testimony in committee, this is done in a very safe manner. So this is not like something that you can just go up and get at a pharmacy. It's actually administered in the office, given a full 8-hour therapy session. The medication, what it truly does, and I can speak to this personally, having gone through therapy for PTSD, is the medication is truly just a catalyst for the therapy to work, because it opens the person up to actually explain about their circumstances. I know when I went through it, I was looking at that guy across from me and was thinking, who are you? Why am I going to tell you about my experiences? And this is what it does. It kind of opens them up. So the common sense works, but the science is showing that it's working too. 180 people have gone through the trials. They're going to be really successful. So we just don't want any delay if and probably when it's going to be approved by the FDA.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1344? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1344. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1344 is adopted. Mr. Shebel, please read the title of House Bill 1311.
House Bill 1311 by Representatives Pico and Woodrow, also Senator Woodward, concerning the correction of technical defects with definitions that resulted from a restructuring of the gasoline and special fuel tax in 2021.
Representative Pico.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1311.
To the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a minor correction. It's a gas for me to bring you this. This is a minor correction to a bill we ran last year. We inadvertently left off one particular fuel out of a adjustment that brought that in, and is particularly chagrined for me to tell you that as an aviator, I missed this because I've used a lot of this fuel, but it's a very simple, straightforward correction. And with that, I wait for any questions to fuel the discussion.
Representative Woodrow, would you like to fuel the discussion even more?
I would. Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, colleagues. The good work of the Statutory Revision Committee continues apace, and oh, it's a gas. Last time we moved an apostrophe, today we're clarifying some definitions. Indeed, this is the work that fuels us, and I'm happy to join with our colleague Rep. Pico like a highly refined synthetic blend. We ask that you give this bill the green light.
Well, I feel very ignited by this conversation. Is there any more discussion on House Bill 1311? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1311. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 1311 is adopted. Mr. Shebel, please read the title of Senate Bill 34.
Senate Bill 34 by Senators Kolker and Priola, also Representatives Burton Sandridge, concerning measures to counteract the filing of fraudulent business documents with the Secretary of State.
Representative Byrd.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So as my co-prime makes his way down here, We've talked to you previously about Senate Bill 34. This is a great bill to protect businesses from having their identities hijacked and also to protect the public from being victim to a fake business that has been created under our Secretary of State's filing system. We recognize that this is a problem, and our bill, as we previously discussed, puts in protections and gives people who've been victims of this crime a remedy and an opportunity for redress. Some changes that we are making today are to create an ongoing task force, and this actually will be in an amendment that we'll present, but that is the substance of the bill, and I'll reserve comment for the amendment when we get to the amendment.
Representative Sandridge, would you please move the bill?
I move Senate Bill 34.
To the bill. Representative Sandridge.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't have too much to add to Representative Byrd's statement. However, this is something we discussed previously. We already know it's a great bill. It's helped to protect our businesses from identity theft. As technology advances, we need to advance as well. This is a tough on crime bill, and it's a smart on crime bill. So I ask for an aye vote, and I'm going to keep on going. So, but the reason we're here a second time is because we've been working with stakeholders. What we're trying to do is get everybody on board. We don't want to rush this bill. We want to make sure everybody's on board and not come back next year with a second bill to try to expand. If we're going to do it right now, let's do it right. Let's make it bigger. Let's cover more areas. And let's not just be in a position where we look back and say we need to change this. Let's look towards the future and see what other criminal activities may be coming our way and try to prepare for that.
Representative Byrd.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I agree with everything my co-prime sponsor has said, and we're just very pleased to bring this bill to you for consideration. So, we are going to make a couple changes to the bill to make it better and create better process. And with that, I'd like to first begin by moving Amendment L008.
L008 has been moved.
And I also ask that it be displayed.
Okay, and we're working on that. Thank you so much. It has been moved, and it's coming into focus.
People are listening.
We are properly displayed to the amendment. Representative Byrd.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this amendment, we amended this bill on second reading previously, and that amendment created a new process, or it mandated creation of a process to prevent to establish a secure business filing plan and to mandate that every business filing would go through that plan. We realized that we need to be thoughtful about this, so rather than create this immediately without a process, we're going to take this out, and you'll see a subsequent amendment that creates that process. So
Getting a little loud in here. If we could keep the volume down. Representative Holtorf wants me to gavel you. Representative Sandridge.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I want to speak directly to Representative Weissman, since he's the only one that's listening. This is a great amendment. Vote yes. Thank you.
Okay, do we have any further discussion on Amendment L008? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of Amendment L008. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. L008 is adopted. Representative Byrd.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Amendment L009.
Amendment L00
and ask that it be displayed.
L009 has been properly moved, and we are working on the display component. Thank you. We are properly displayed. Representative Byrd.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So Amendment L009 does exactly what I was touching on before. It creates that process. We're creating a task force with members of the Secretary of State's office that will sit on this task force, also members of the business community, members who have been victims of business identity theft, a member of the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, our Attorney General, and also Homeland Security to collectively weigh in, make sure we understand this program, and then we create a process to protect people who use our business filing system and make sure that our business filing system is strong and protects people's identities and prevents crime. I ask for your yes vote.
Any further discussion on L009? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of L009. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. L009 is adopted. To the bill. Representative Byrd.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I respectfully ask for a yes vote. Let's tighten up our processes and procedures and make sure people and their businesses cannot be victims of identity theft.
Representative Sandridge.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's really simple. If you like criminals, vote no. If you're against crime, vote yes. And secondly, I want to thank Representative Byrd for doing all the work on this and inviting me on. She did tremendous amount of work, a lot of hours, so I want to thank her. Thank you.
Okay,
That's
any
what I
further
vote.
discussion on Senate Bill 34? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of Senate Bill 34 as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Senate Bill 34 is adopted. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
You have heard the motion. The committee will rise and report.
The House will come to order. Mr. Shebo, please read the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Madam Speaker Pro Tem, your Committee of the Whole begs leave to report it has under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof and making the following recommendations thereon. House Bill 1291, 1311, 1313 as amended, 1344 as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 34 as amended, passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Thank you. Representative Michelson Janae. Thank you. There are no amendments on the desk. The question before us is the adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole. Mr. Shebo, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Ortiz, how do you vote?
Yes.
Representative Ortiz votes yes. Representative Williams, how do you vote?
No.
Representative Williams votes no. Representative Luck, how do you vote?
No.
Representative Luck votes no. All right, Mr. Shebo, please close the machine. With 39 ayes, 22 noes, and 4 excused, the report of the Committee of the Whole is adopted. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. I move to lay over the balance of the calendar until Friday, April 8th.
Seeing no objection, the balance of the calendar is laid over until tomorrow, Friday the 8th. And now we're back to announcements and introductions. Anybody? Representative Lynch, first one up.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. I have asked for and received permission to be absent tomorrow.
When?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I don't know. No, it's fine. Thank you for letting us know. Representative Byrd.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. Finance Committee, Friends and Fans of Finance, we will be meeting at 10:15. See you there.
All right, one of those friends and fans. I'll be there. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. It has been requested with a little bit of late notice for those of you that pack for the week that we allow you all to wear Rockies gear tomorrow. I am not going to say yes to jeans, but you can wear your Rockies gear on top. Men, I think you still probably need to wear your jackets until the coat rule is relaxed, and we'll go from there. But that request was sent in about 2 seconds ago, and I will be gracious and grant it.
Oh, all right. See no further announcements or introductions? Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. I move the House stand in recess until later today.
The House will be in recess till later today.